We are in the universal energy of 9, which means that 2025, when you add those numbers together, you get a 9. And every single one of us as a person is dealing with endings and letting go and leaning into feeling what no longer serves us. September is also a 9, the 9th month of the year. So in that, this should be a time where we're really feeling what is no longer serving me, what am I ready to let go of. And what's really important to understand about letting go is that sometimes bringing something new in is the very letting go of something that no longer serves you. If you haven't spent a lot of time with me, hi, I am Jodie Insure. I am the co-owner of Lifeology. We do all things change, self-awareness, bravery, and spiritual teaching and guiding for you to absolutely live the best version of yourself. This is the Unstuck Club. It has currently changed its format, and I just cut myself. Hopefully not too badly. Let's see how it goes. It has currently changed its format, and I am flying solo on it and talking about all the things that get us unstuck, or the things that you may not realize really and truly do get you stuck. If you do not follow my channel, then please follow me. This is one of the things that I do, is the Unstuck Club, but I'm also breaking manifestation myths, and I am talking about all things planetary and astrological and numerology and self-awareness, and my modalities are tarot, numerology, astrology, things that I have studied as far back as 1989 when I was still in school, and 2004 when I was figuring out my career. So there is a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge that all I want to do is share it with you. Right, so now, what's so important to understand about a 9 energy, that is, as an archetype, it is the humanitarian archetype, and this is so important. It's not spoken about enough that with the 9, letting go is actually the way that you let go. So the humanitarian energy is asking for any letting go or endings or changing to actually be done with a whole lot of wisdom. It shouldn't be falling apart. It shouldn't be that if there are things that you really need to let go of, or you've had this profound realization in this year that there's a relationship that doesn't serve you, then if you cannot close that relationship with grace, and if you cannot have a look at the person who you are closing the relationship with and be able to say, even though what they have done is hurtful or deeply, deeply wounding, then they don't have the capacity to do it any other way, for the consciousness and the awareness of who they are, for the wounds that they sit with. And even if you're saying, well, that's not true because I know that they should be further down the line than they are, then you just keep on letting go of your own ability to step into the compassion that you need to end a 9 energy as consciously and as aware as you possibly can. So maybe there's a feeling of a lot of endings. Maybe there's a feeling of a lot of something's got to change and something's got to shift. And if all of that is coming up, then we are currently in September 2025. And the next step that's going to happen is that from September, which is a 9, we move into October. And the October is a 1. And 1 is this revitalizing of energy. And we literally get a boost between October, November, December, 1, 2, and 3. How do we get that? October's a 1. November is the 11th month. So when you add 1 and 1 together, you get 2. And December is the 12th month. So when you add 1 and 2 together, you get 3. 1, 2, and 3 are the beginning of the numerology line. So we have a new boost of energy that is coming up. But it's very important to understand that the new boost of energy is coming up in order for you to let go of and figure out what no longer serves you. So it's coming up for you to manage everything that is sitting in the 9 collective energy before we all step into this 1 energy next year. Letting go is not only related to other people, it is very much related to your own relationship with yourself. So, for you to be able to have the capacity to look inwards and to go, this part of who I am does not serve me. What I am doing does not serve me. Things like, I have continued to promise myself that I will start this new hobby, or I have continued to promise myself that I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get motivated to do certain things, I'm going to brave a particular journey. When you can actually see that you are missing something, there is a part of yourself that feels incomplete because you aren't doing something, or there is a part of yourself that just knows that if you do not let go of something, that the shift is not going to be in your favor. So it's so important to understand co-creation in order to lean into this. And this is my belief and my understanding, and what is so important for you to decide in whoever you choose as your teacher or your guide, wherever you're finding information along the way. It's so important that you lean in to what this person is saying, what I'm about to say, what anybody else that you're listening to is about to say, and you lean into it and you really sense whether within your energetic system and within your mind and within what you're trying to navigate as your truth, that it resonates or it doesn't resonate. Because there is so much information, there are so many different avenues about how life works and how the universe works and what manifestation is and what purposefulness and mindfulness, and there are so many different explanations that a big part of the 9 year for you is to discover who is the person, who is my guide, what are the messages, what do I believe. 9 is soaked in wisdom. It's really and truly soaked in wisdom. So it's asking you to navigate intuitively into your own wisdom. So with that in mind, what I honestly believe is that we are vibration, and every other thing has vibration. All of life has vibration, right? When we vibrate, when we literally vibrate at a certain energetic feeling, and this is really important to understand, then that vibration goes outwards. And whether we are vibrating in joy or whether we are vibrating in bravery or in sadness or frustration, that is not the vibration that this co-creative energy is feeling. The vibration that the co-creative energy is feeling is the vibration of worthiness. So you can be feeling absolutely frustrated and so very angry. But that frustration and that anger is actually, finally, this truth of your worthiness. A lot of the self-help messaging is to vibrate in these positive energies, like make sure that you stay positive. You can be staying positive, but that positive vibration is not actually the truth of how you are feeling. You are always navigated energetically towards the truth of how you're feeling. And when you are honest with yourself about how you feel, you immediately kick yourself into worthiness. And if you imagine a radio station, right, and a radio station, you can only listen to a radio station if you are on that particular frequency, right? The co-creative energy of the universe is always set to the frequency of worthiness. It is not set to the frequency of positive affirmations. It is not set to the frequency of vision boards and saying the right thing at the right time and spilling out joy. It's not aligned to that. It's aligned to worthiness, and worthiness is aligned to truth. So in that, as you're navigating this 9 energy, don't get lost in the only way that I can manifest is if I stay positive. The only way that I can create what I want is if I hold on to something so tight because I promised myself and I committed to it. For you to sit with each thing that you promised yourself and that you committed to, and to really be absolutely honest with yourself, that is going to lead you so much further down the line than this narrative of decide what you want, hold on to it, anchor into it with everything that you've got. Some people do have to follow that route. That's it. You've decided. You focus, no matter what, nothing shifts your focus, right? Other people, you decide that, but actually you're gonna know. I've never worked with anyone where once we've done some work, they actually don't go, there was that little niggle. There was that niggle, but I didn't know whether to trust that niggle or not. This is so much of what the 9 is asking us to do, is to lean into everything that we have. The best way to think about it is to take your entire life as if it was a treasure chest, and every single thing is put into that treasure chest. It's all there. Every relationship, including your relationship with yourself, with your body, with your mind, everything that you own, your physical assets, your emotional assets, your relationships, everything is in that box. And to pull each thing out of that box and to ask yourself, does it still resonate? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me feel worthy? And what's so important to understand about relationships is that relationships can be hard, but it doesn't mean that because a relationship is hard, it's not a good and healthy relationship for you. Sometimes it can draw you into being a better version of yourself because this relationship pushes you. But if it plays with your esteem, if it hurts your esteem along the way, then that's a different type of valuing that you need to do. And pulling into your relationship with yourself, this 9 year for me has been so completely about my relationship with myself. And it really has been tough. It hasn't been an easy year. And I'm watching the things that I need to end. And a lot of the things that I need to end is the way that I am not gentle enough with myself, or not kind enough to myself, not where the determination that I've always thought is so good, or this surviving and figuring out everything by myself, is a sign of my strength. This is the year that I have leaned into so many other people. Me as a spiritual teacher and as a self-awareness coach and guide, I have returned to my spiritual teacher after such a long time. And I am working with someone who's teaching me how to eat in a different way, because this perimenopause has kicked my butt like you cannot believe. I am talking to someone a psychologist who is so amazing. And I'm also understanding that one of the big things that needs to end is this belief that mindfulness fixes everything. I have been so committed on a mindful level, like you cannot believe. I understand my personality backwards, inside out, upside down, in every single way possible. Yet sitting inside my anatomy is this shifting of these hormones that if I didn't allow myself to stop and say, hang on 1 second, maybe I have done everything and maybe it's not me and I need to surrender into doing something different, I could have really and truly damaged my esteem. And the 9 is such an interesting year because it's asking you to step into your own personal wisdom. So many people are out there, they can help you, they can give you advice, they can guide you, and they are supposed to. We're not meant to do this journey on our own. But you first have to connect into your inner wisdom in order to decide and figure out whether it's you're heading in the right direction, you need to give yourself more time, or whether it's time to shift direction. There are ways to do it in your personality blueprint. There are ways to do it in your birth chart, in your numerology. Tarot readings can guide you to do it. So once again, you're not fumbling. We should never fumble. The universe has given us every single tool that we need to navigate this path. It's like, why would you, in this day and age, try and GPS yourself through your mind when you could actually open up your mobile phone and actually know exactly the direction to go in. We don't do that. We know that we have a map on our phone all the time and we're not going to get lost. You have a map. Your numerology is your map. Your astrology birth chart is your map. The tarot cards can be a map. And if you're feeling like in this 9 year, in this last stretch of the nine, some things feel like they are so far back that they are coming even from a past lifetime. Past life readings, which is one of my most special things to do, is the map. You're not alone. You're in this and we're in this together in any way possible. So allow yourself to see how this year is going to end for you without losing the momentum, because we have the next 3 months to really, 3.5 months, depending on when you find this, to close off what genuinely no longer serves you. And I want to remind you that closing off does not mean endings. It can actually mean doing things, bringing in new things that just lets the old shift away. Once again, if you need me, I am here in any way, shape, or form. You can reach out to me. And I really and truly have something special called the Radical Self Awareness Group. You can join that group, and it is just a place where I give the best information that I possibly have, and I share with you every single aspect of what I know, what I learn, what I understand. And in that, you get your personality blueprint, you get your numerology. You have access to me at all times to help your spiritual journey, your personal journey, any kind of growth path that you are currently on. So reach out to me. The links will be down below to make it easy to access me. And in any way that I can help you get unstuck, that is exactly what I'm here for.